Shalom, 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 Yasha Allah. It's your boy, Brother Shamwa Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called Soap Opera as the World of the Israelites Turn. All right, soap opera as the world of the Israelites turn. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and His only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. All right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders on down from Great Millstone, who have ruled well to the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and on the hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. All right. Like I said, soap opera as the world of the Israelites turn, right? And it's just constant, back and forth, the drama, in Israel, amongst the Israelite community. You have this it's nothing but drama, right? And this is how we know who we are, you can tell, you can read in these scriptures and you can see those same people on this earth today, right? And what does Jake like the most but drama, all right? And keeping the drama up, right? Because that's the nature, that Jake is, man. At this point, that's how destroyed of our people are, man, right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22, right? It says, "For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge," right? And the cold part about it, it's a lot of you who are wearing fringes, right? Who are in this same mentality, right? Right? Who are foolish and who are sottish, right? Who want to keep the high school drama, right? Because they're stuck in the schoolmasters. They're stuck in the school system, and that high school drama continues to be with them. Okay, the NLT says, "My people are foolish, and they do not know me." Right? Says Yahawah Bahasham Shai. They are stupid children who have none understanding. They are clever enough at doing wrong, but they have no idea to do right. Right? And we can sit here and witness this. We sit here and witness this. All right. And the cold part about it, so it says, the cold part about it is all this is, it's about money, and it's about recognition, man. Right? When you see it, right, on all sides, right? You flip on the channel, the first thing that happens, right? It's not feeding you, right? What's the first thing when you go get on some of these Israelite channels? The first thing is a commercial, right? A commercial or several commercials, I should say, Salakia, right? And after the commercials, then they get on, and what do? They sell their own merchandise, right? They tell you to, sign up to be a member, right? And get exclusive offers. Buy this hat, buy this shirt, right? Get these fringes, get this, garment. Get this t-shirt fringe, right? Buy it now, right? And it's all for the play. And just looking at this, the drama that's going on right now, it's all for the play of, those those who were part of the Sakari or whatever, who were following, Pegasaurus, right? So now it's all up, you have all these people who are watching. So now people are trying to gather those people who are watching, right? Because what? That brings in the money, right? That brings in the notification, the notifications, the notoriety, I should say. I don't know if that's even a real word, but this is 2 Peter, right? Chapter 2 and verse number 1, it says, "But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying Yahawah Bahasham that brought them, and bringing up themselves swift destruction." Okay? It says, "And many shall follow their pernicious ways." It says, "By reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of." And when you watch, this drama that's unfolding, this is what you see, man. Right? And then trying to get people join, you click here, subscribe here to this channel, and then you go here, and then guess what? You can donate to this. You can buy this. I got this Bible, right? I got this clothing line. This is my new clothing line. Check out this. You can get this gear, right? That's the first thing they do, right? Once they got all the people in, they clickbaited and got people in, and then what do? They try to sell them stuff, right? Verse number 3, it says, "And through covetousness, they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation stumbleth not." All right. It says, 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse number 3 in the NLT, it says, "In their greed, they will make up clever lies to get hold of your money. But the Most High condemned them long ago, and their destruction will not be delayed." Right? Because a lot of you, man, that's what you're in it here for. They're in it for the money, for the fame. All right? To be the top person. It's like a fight to the top, right? It's like a fight to the top of this, the Israelite community, man. And it's just madness to sit there and watch. It's like watching a goddamn soap opera, man. Right? Like watching, I said it before, and then I seen Elder Apostle Tahar said it. This is like they might as well do, like the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They might as well just do the Real Housewives and of Israel, man. At this point, because there's so much drama that's in there, and it's all a money grab. It's all about trying to get that top recognition in Israel, to say that you're the top man, boasting about how much money you got, what school you went to. Oh, I didn't go to no community college. I went to regular college. I went to a university. I make 300,000. I got an RT. Look at that. I got the stitching in the back. Like, this is the drama, right? This is the drama and no edification. Right? But the scriptures tell you that in these last days, this is what's going to happen. All right? Micah chapter 3, verse 10. Is it Micah? Salakia. Yeah. Micah chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, "They build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity." Right? And we see there's a lot of corruption. Well, we knew about what he was doing. I got receipts about what he was, just, instead of calling it out what it is, right? They hold on, and when everybody goes down, they all try to go down, right? Like I said, it's like the episode of the first 48, man. Right? The first 48. Have you ever seen that? Right? It says, Micah chapter 3, verse 11, it says, "The heads thereof judge for reward." Right? You sit there and you say, "Oh, you guys all like drama. I had 24,000 views, for this, and then I did a whole lesson and nobody did it." But then you continue to do the drama so that people can watch and visit. right? It's just the madness, right? And then when everybody's in there, hey, subscribe to this, pay for this, you can buy these hats, you can do this, you can do that, right? Just straight madness, all right? It says the heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire. I got counseling sessions that you can do. I have this, I got that, I got this podcast. Like, come on, man, the madness, right? It says the heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. It says, yet they will lean upon Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi and say, is not Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi among us? None evil can come upon us. And that's what they're doing. The Lord's not dealing with you, but he's with us. He's with me here. And this, this, like, hey, man, if the scriptures is not on point, man, I don't know what is. Right? These scriptures be on point, and it shows our people to a T, right? And our people are full of drama, right? Full of drama. What is that? Hosea, right? Hosea chapter 4, verse 1. The Most High's controversy with Israel. It says, hear the word of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, ye children of Israel. For Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. Right? Because what? You'd rather deal with the drama going on about this, that, and the other, right? And you're not feeding and edifying the people, man. All you're doing is going back and forth, like a soap opera with drama. All right? It says, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood, right? And this is what we see going on in this community, man. It's crazy. It's madness, right? It says, verse number 6, it says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of the Most High. I will also forget thy children. Right? It was crazy. I was sitting there watching the one with your boy Gorilla, and he gets in his car, and he reaching under the seat under his car. He's looking on the side of his car, like on the passenger's or the driver's side part, and he's pulling up all these Bibles. He's pulling up all these scriptures. He's like he pulls up all these different Bibles, like they're he's just showing them, like, look, I got one in my pocket. We stay strapped though. We stay strapped with this. It's just like the drama, man. Right? It's just the whole mentality of the people, man. And this is why the Lord's gonna have to destroy a lot of Jakes out here, man. A lot of Jakes and Eve. And then you watch it, and you got all these, these women, right, on the comment board, just going back and forth, just spreading the message. It's just, let's keep reading, right? Verse 7. It says, as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I will change their glory into shame. Okay? And this is what it is, man. Right? You look at this, you look at the estate, and it's a shame, man. It's a shame to see the drama that our people have, right? But they're stuck in that high school, the high school mentality, man, of the schoolmaster. They haven't jumped to faith, right? Because through faith, you have to do actions. You have to work and apply it and do the different things. All right. But when you're in the school, right, you got your school uniform. Right? I got my little T-shirt, my fringes on it, talk about keep the laws, brothers. You keep, doing all that, right? but you're not walking in faith, right? You know, you I don't know. It, like I say, just watching this whole drama stuff is just, it's just madness, right? Because they're stuck on, law this, law that, right? And it's just like they'll depend so hard on the laws, right? But they don't have faith, right? And then they'll sit there and say, and a lot of them, you know, when they're talking and they're talking to somebody, they'll shoot out the name Jesus Christ, right? And I even that, just saying that name is horrible, right? But then that's what our people do, right? Because they want what? They want the recognition, they want the money, right? And they want to be famed. They want the fame at the end of the day. They need the drama to be relevant, right? In this. All right. When you look at the different things, you have, 500 people watching, you get 20,000 views, right, of drama, right? Because we know what? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? You're the Israelites and you're the diaspora, right? Y'all love drama. Y'all love the drama and everything that goes into it, right? And the Lord, and this is, like I say, this is how you know that we're the people, right? Because all this stuff is what we do, all right? Let's go to Salakia, Isaiah 1 and verse number 4. It says, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4, it says, a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken Yahawah Bahasham Shai. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards. And this is just seeing, we understand. I say I understand why we're in captivity. Because you look at our people, you look how we act. You look at the drama. You look at the drama that's going on, for even those who know, right? And that's why it says, man, right? Let's get that. First Peter, right, 4 and verse number 17. It says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? Right? And it's going to be a lot of judgment that's going to be coming on, right? Because with this school mentality, man, right? The school drama that's kept up, right? You remember back in high school where you had all the drama. It was all the drama going throughout the whole school about what this person did, what that person did, right? And that's what it's, and then people get attracted to that. And then they want to, and it spreads, the gossips, the rumor, it's all out. And it's just like a soap opera, man. Right. And this is just another episode, right? As the Israelites, as the world of the Israelites turn, man. Right. It's just a constant thing. And this is why Yahawashi is going to come, right, and put a lot of you niggas to death, man. Right, and destroy a lot of folks, man. Right, because it's a constant, right, and you're not learning, you're not growing, right. You're still acting like children. All right. What was that? What's that? 1 Corinthians 13. Right, 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11. It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Okay? And at this point, like I say, it's just all and ultimately it's Yahawah, right? That's diverting a lot of people away from this truth because it's not meant for them, right? And you just get caught up in the drama, the he say, she say, right? The back and forth. And this is why it's good to have elders, right? Who can teach, because they've seen this stuff before. They've been through this stuff before, And that's what they tell you, don't get the women involved in this. And then what's so crazy is just I'm watching and you have your boy Gorilla. He did a live, and all you have is all these women just going, that's right, yeah, go ahead, cheat, just and, and then you go and you watch the other one, and what, you got all these women just in here cackling, going back and forth, and it's just straight madness. But it's a soap opera, man, right? It's a soap opera inside Yahawah movie. All right. And guess what? This drama is about to end, right? Because the Lord's going to put an end to this, right? Into all this chaos. The Lord is going to silence a lot of people, man. Right? Silence a lot of people, right? What is that? Titus, right? Titus chapter 1 and verse number 10, right? It says, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, right? A lot of you Israelites, man, right? In these other camps, man, that's what they do, right? Vain talkers, right? Deceivers, right? It says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. And that's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. When you look at a lot of stuff, that's what it's all about, that money, right? What is that? First Timothy, right? I know I'm all over the place, right? But this is the drama that's that's going on, right? This is First Timothy chapter 6 and verse 9. It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, right? And you see, getting all this money, and hey, to Jake, 300,000, that's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? You get into some money, you get into a couple bands and you feeling yourself even then, right? It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, right? And you I ain't even gonna say it. It says, fall into temptation and a snare, and it's to many foolish and hurtful lusts, right? And you see what happened to Gorilla, right? He fell into some hurtful lusts, some foolish and hurtful lusts. It says, which drown men in destruction and perdition. It says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows, right? And that's what we see, as this episode, of this drama continues to play out. All right. They got this show, what is that? Black Chicago Be Like, Black Chicago Be Like part 119, part 105, whatever, right? This is the same type of drama here in Israel as it's playing out, man, right? With a lot of you, t-shirt fringes, man, right? Because you're caught up in that high school drama mentality, that soap opera mentality, all right? And the Lord is going to have to just wipe away, a lot of them. That's what it said, in that day, they shall come to you and say, Lord, Lord. And he's going to say, I never knew you, man. Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. But no, I did a 4-hour live, talking about a man getting pegged, right? I did a 4-hour live about that. I, 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 I sold the Hebrew Israelite books, right? I never knew you, right? This is the mentality. Hey, because everybody they're all caught up about the money and this fame, all right, and it's all just drama at the end of the day. You know, scriptures tell you what. Let's get that. 2 Corinthians, right? 6:3. Why? Humble yourself, man. Humble yourself. All right, because otherwise the Lord's gonna humble you, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 3. It says, "Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed." Right? And people want to try to run for the top and then get to the top and get exposed. You know? Just be humble, man. Be humble in this thing. Right? But people they don't want to. Right? And the Lord just is is going to work his magic, man, at the end of the day. All right? It says in the NLT, right? It says, "We live in such a way that no one will stumble because of us, and no one will find fault with our ministry." Right? And this is how we should be acting, man. Right? You know? But they know, right? That guess what? Israel they love drama. Right? Jake and Eve loves drama. So what do? They use that, right? The one brother said, hey, he has a marketing degree, so he knows, the marketing tactics to get people to. And what did he do? So he dragged people in. He started filibustering and talking for a little bit, and then he goes to and try, hey, buy my my Bible. Oh yeah, here, go to my website, buy my clothing. Subscribe to this, subscribe. This was what it's all about at the end of the day. The Lord is showing you what they're about, right? And it's not about, feeding and edifying the sheep, all right? It's all about the drama. It's all about the fame and the fortune and the money at the end of the day, all right? So I just wanted to do this quick lesson. Lord's will, this was edifying, right? But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, right? Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad, a mighty shalom to the 144,000 men, right? Double honors to the apostles and elders on down from GMS who have ruled well to the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all the elect out there enduring, right? Enduring through, Esau's world and the soap opera drama of the world of Israel as it turns. All right. And with that, I'll say shalom.